Hello, and welcome to this virtual event. If you signed up to attend Time to Get Moving, guess what? You are in the right place today, okay? Today, we're going to learn how to make a seamless move to a senior living community. And we certainly hope that all of you are doing well right now in these rather strange times that we're all living in, sheltering in place. And we're hoping that we're going to get through this quickly and life will get back to normal for sure. We're just really grateful that you chose to be with us for this presentation today. So, by the way, my name is Melissa Smith, and I'm going to serve as, well, your MC or your moderator for this virtual event today. You're not going to see me, and you're not going to see any of our presenters, but you will hear them. And well, at least that's our technical idea, that you'll hear them, and they will be taking your questions as well throughout the presentation and at the end if we don't get it in the middle of the presentation. So together, we are going to learn from our panel of experts what to keep in mind when we're considering a move to a retirement community like Lakeview Village, which, by the way, Lakeview Village is the sponsor of this virtual presentation today. Normally, this would be an event that we would hold at the community, but with the current situation, we are eager to try out some new technology and to bring it to you online. So again, we're just really glad that you're here with us today. We have a few things that we want you to know before we get started. So if you have a question at any time during the presentation, which is going to take like 45 minutes to an hour, if you have a question, look right now on the bottom of your screen, or like on your screen, look right under the video player on this page, and you're going to see the words submit a question. When you have a question, all you have to do is click on that button and a form is going to appear, and you will type in your question and you're going to hit submit. And if we've moved on to another topic by then, we will get to it at the end. But go ahead and submit it when you think of it, okay? Again, that's under the video player that you're looking at. You should see a submit a question button, and we will get to those at the end of the presentation. And if you're having a hard time hearing us, there's a really simple fix. You just turn up the sound on your computer or your tablet or your phone speakers, and that should help you for sure. And by the way, we cannot hear you. So we don't want you to worry if your dog barks or your doorbell rings or anything like that. It's not going to interrupt us. However, we are all presenting from our homes. So there could be a chance that my little puggle Daisy decides to bark at the neighbor dog. I hope she doesn't, but if she does, I apologize right now. And if the doorbell rings, I promise to ignore it. I'm going to stay right here present in the moment today for sure. So we are going to kick this presentation off, and we're going to start out with someone who can really help us when it's time to sort through everything and downsize. You know, I don't know about you, but man, have I accumulated stuff through the years, right? We have it in every closet and every nook and cranny. So I want you to welcome at this time. She's going to unmute her microphone for us. Please welcome from Organizing Etc., Karen Swart. Karen, you're up.
Hello, Melissa. Thanks for having me on today. So I want to talk a little bit about what professional organizers can do to help seniors prepare for this very big move they're about to make. So, one of the things that we try to do is get people to understand that starting early is very important. Now, sometimes we don't have the luxury of time. Maybe the decision has been made quickly for some reason. But if you're at the stage, I think most of our listeners are right now, where they're just sort of thinking about it or they're kind of moving in that direction, this is the time to start thinking about the downsizing process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some key areas that will help you along the way. So when I say start early, I mean at least several months, 6 months, 9 months, so that this doesn't seem too awfully stressful. um, so what you're going to want to do next, once you've decided you're going to head into this process, is you want to find the help that you need. So that might be family, that might be friends, might be neighbors. It might be professionals, and I don't want to, tout our services too much, but know that there are people like us that we do this every day, and we know the process, and we can help guide you through it. Not only professional organizers, but maybe estate sale people, realtors, of course, if you're thinking about selling your home. So early on, you're going to decide who you're going to commission to help you. This part that I'm about to talk about is probably the most important part that people really struggle with, and it's knowing the phases that this process will take. All right, so phase one is, again, determining who's going to help you and what your budget will allow. A lot of people, a lot of folks just have their family help them, and that's wonderful. And if they're available, if they're close by to help you in the process, they're the least expensive help that you can ask to help you in this. If you're going to use an organizer, this would be the time to secure that person, a move manager, and possibly a mover, a moving company. It's important to get these people in place early, especially if you're going to move in a peak time like spring or summer. Those tend to be the peak times, and you want to get on their schedule. I want everyone to understand that this process of downsizing and going through your things can be a very emotional process. So sometimes it can go a little more smoothly if the person that's helping you is not personally attached to you or your things. So that's something to consider when you're getting the help that you need for this. Phase two of the process is where you're going to gift items to your family and friends. So your china hutch or any items that you know that you can't really take to the new home. This is where you're going to give those special things away. You're going to give them to people that you think that might enjoy them. Here's an important piece of that. If you're deciding who's getting what, you want to give them a deadline to pick up the items. If you leave it kind of open-ended, a lot of times people don't get around to picking those items up. So be sure to give them a deadline. That will help both you and them. Another piece of that is to try not to be offended if the person you're gifting the items to doesn't really want them. And the reason why I say this is I find more and more that younger generations are not as interested in things like china or antiques. They're just not. Now, I'm not speaking for everyone, but be sure to just ask them if they really do want these items that you're giving them. Memorabilia and photos, these are really good items to pass on at this time. You want your future generations to have all that history that you're passing on. Phase three, this is where you're going to edit and sort and select items that you're going to donate, that you can't take with you for one reason or another. You're not really using the items anymore. And an organizer can help you with this process, definitely. Also, this might be the phase where you're going to decide if you'd like to try to have an estate sale. Oftentimes people don't have enough for an estate sale, but this is where we would bring a professional in to just assess this and determine if you do have enough. During this phase, it's important that you, and this is where a lot of times I can help coach with this, but it's important to really think critically and realize that you probably can't take everything with you. If you're downsizing, more than likely you have a lifetime of items in your homes that we're going to have to go through and decide what you're actually going to be able to take. Phase 4 would be selling items. Now, here again, an estate sale person might be involved with this. Sometimes we just have certain pieces that maybe we think have some value. Um, and there's different ways you can go about this. You can bring a reseller in, and this is a resource that a lot of times a professional organizer will have. They know what people to call for this. You can also use social media or Craigslist. You can use Facebook Marketplace. There's two things I want to really remind you of when you're selling items. And this is a big one. Remember that your things are always worth more to you than they are to someone else. So why I say that is, it might be a piece that you're very attached to. Maybe it was your grandmother's. You have fond memories of where this piece was and you grew up with it. So it's important to you, but you have to be realistic about what the actual value is, maybe to someone else. So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing I really want to point out when you're selling items is through social media is you want to really consider safety. I've had clients that are alone in their homes and they maybe want to sell a piece, and it makes me a little nervous. And so I will tell them, if you're going to sell pieces from your home, schedule pickups or times for people to come look at the items only when someone else is with you. Maybe on the weekend, maybe your son or daughter can come over. So please keep that in mind. Very important. Phase 5 is where you determine the items that you're taking to your new home. Now, I want you to make sure that you keep in mind how much space you have available. Again, with professional organizing, we do really work with the client on this. We go to, for instance, Lakeview Village, and I will physically look at the space that you're moving into so that I know exactly how many closets there are and if you have a basement for storage and that kind of thing. And here's your rule of thumb. When you're scrutinizing what is going with you, I want you to think about things that you use often, things that you love, things that you enjoy. These are kind of your benchmarks. So that might help you to determine, if I haven't worn these items in a year, maybe I'm not really using them and I can pass them along. So those are your things to keep in mind, your rules of thumb. Phase 6 is packing. You're going to pack the items for your move. Now, remember that professionals do this all the time, and we understand the proper way to pack things so that it arrives safely to your new home. And it's best to use proper packing materials, even if you're just moving across town, which many people are, just moving across town. You want your things to arrive unbroken and safe. Phase 7 is the move itself, the big move. Remember that this is going to happen in one day, and it's a big, busy day. I'm helping a client with this just today. In fact, as soon as I get off here, I'm going to go help her unpack her kitchen at Lakeview Village, in fact. So you really want to consider using professionals here. Of course, you can use friends and family, but professionals do this all the time. As well as the unpacking. It's very hard work. You've just had a very busy day. And so having someone help with this, especially getting your kitchen and your bathroom unpacked immediately, just is going to make you feel at home right away. So move day can be very stressful. We just want you to try to enjoy this day. It's exciting. So kind of let the pros do the hard work for you. And my very last point is that now that you've moved through all of those phases, we want you to enjoy your new home. You've made it there safe and sound, and now it's time to just enjoy the new activities and the new friends that you are about to make at your new community. So those are the phases of moving and move management and getting you to your new home. and I will take questions, any questions anyone would have on that topic.
And if you have a question, feel free to submit that. And Karen, we will likely come back to you at the end of the program
Okay,
with some questions. So
very good.
we know that you will hang, even though you got a busy day, we want you to hang by. So in
Of
case some of those
course.
questions come up. So
Of course, yes.
thank you, Karen, so
Mhm.
much. Now, our next presenter was supposed to be this lovely lady. She had something, Patty had something come up today. So Colette, who is with Lakeview Village, she is going to pinch hit for Patty, if you will. And in this one, we're going to talk about just getting your space ready at Lakeview Village or whatever community you may be moving into, so that all those things that Karen was talking about, you'll be able to have this whole new encounter with your things in this new space. So Colette Poncho, you want to take it away?
Well, good morning. I know Patty is sorry she wasn't able to join us today, but I can tell you she is a joy to work with and a true professional. And she has been working with Lakeview for about 20 years while running her own full-service design firm, and she does remodeling, furniture, staging, and more. So hopefully you will make her acquaintance soon. She got acquainted with Lakeview Village about 20 years ago when her dad moved in. So it's been a great relationship. So today I'm going to go over a few things that Patty would do with you when and if you move to Lakeview. So basically there are three big steps that she is involved with our future residents. And the first one is a walkthrough. So you have already selected your home by the time you meet Patty. So she sets up a meeting where you would go through the home with her, and then also with a remodeler. And this is a professional who is actually personally remodeling the home for you. So talk about hands-on. In addition, we have a move-in coordinator named Ashley, and she will walk through the house as well to take notes. And I think really Lakeview Village is unique in giving our residents such a wide range of options in their new homes. So during that time, Patty and the group will discuss with you what is included already by Lakeview in your renovation package, and usually that's quite a lot. There are opportunities to do upgrades that you might want to make. For example, you may want to have an electrical outlet in a different place or add one, maybe some new lighting or fans that could be changed or added if you, say, want to bring one from home. Sometimes people have lighting that they really like. So above all, folks, I wanted you to know that our remodelers do a great job, and they can do almost anything you need because they've worked at Lakeview a long time. They understand how things work here in our community, and each apartment, they've probably done one like it in the past. So that takes about an hour of your time. So next step is design time. So this is where the fun begins. So after you're completing the time at the residence, you will come over to our Lakeview Village Design Center in Southridge. Now this takes about 2 hours, and you'll be selecting whatever is needed to complete that renovation. And we have a whole room set up with samples dedicated to helping you make those choices. For example, you will be looking in some cases at appliances, flooring, countertops, cabinets, window treatments, hardware paint, things like that. Now I will say if the apartment has recently been remodeled, that those things wouldn't need to be chosen, of course. But if it's an apartment or cottage that would need those new choices, we would make those options at that time. On a villa, for example, that's a whole other process where you kind of start from the ground up with your finishes. So how do you, as the incoming resident, make the most of this appointment? Bring things with you. It really helps Patty and the team if you bring fabrics, maybe from an armchair, a favorite piece of furniture, color swatches that you've used in the past or want to consider new, pictures of something you like from a magazine, or maybe you have a special piece of art or rug that you want Patty to work around. She can do that. So we have this room again that is set up just for this purpose. You can spread out all those things, and then you know exactly what your home is going to look like. So after you've made the choices, Patty takes a photo of the selection so you can refer back to them on moving day, and you receive a copy of that summary that has been prepared. So you have everything right there to refer to later. And Lakeview Village, as a courtesy to all of our incoming residents, will pay for the first 3 hours of Patty O'Neill's time. And again, her company is called O'Neill's Originals. And if you do need additional time with Patty after that appointment, that can certainly be arranged. Now, finally, we have step 3, which is planning. So we are together looking at the floor plan. You know, think outside the box on this stage, because you can repurpose things, put them in different locations, for example. And Patty does want you to know that if you are considering buying new furniture, you might wait on that a little while until you get into your home and see what you really need. Because as Karen was saying earlier, downsizing really does present a great opportunity to think differently about what your home should look like. So finally, this is the time to really get moving, start organizing, purging, and packing, when we talk a lot about that in our presentation today. So one of the things that you may not think about doing, though, and that is measuring your closets. That may sound like a small thing, but Patty has reminded us that having those linear measurements really help decide how much short hanging space you need, how much longer hanging space you might need, and that will really help once you get in there and make it feel like home. So above all, we want to make sure when you're with us, it's time well spent. It gives you peace of mind, and then we will turn it over, pass the baton to our facilities department. They will look at scheduling, keep you up to date, get back to you with any pricing of upgrades. So it's a very collaborative process throughout, and we really look forward to working with you. And remember the name, Patty O'Neill, O'Neill's Originals, and she, again, has been working with Lakeview a very long time, and I know you'll enjoy working with her.
Very nice. How fun would that be? I'm like sitting here going, yeah, I have too much stuff in my house. I'd love to get rid of it and have somebody help me put it in a new space and make it beautiful. Sounds terrific. So thanks, Colette, for going through that. We appreciate it much. And we're going to hear back from you at the end of this program as well. So another really important step that I know Karen mentioned off the top is having that estate sale and connecting with an estate sale company. So he is the owner of Blue Stem Estate Sales. Our next presenter, Kevin Garber. Kevin, it's all yours.
Well, thank you, Valissa, and good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin Garber, and I am the owner of Blue Stem Estate Sales. It's my privilege to be a part of this webinar today. Thank you to Lakeview Village for arranging this event and for the opportunity to participate. First of all, Karen, with organizing, etc., did an excellent job of setting the stage for your estate sale. So many of her comments and her advice are excellent ideas and things that I would agree with wholeheartedly. At Blue Stem Estate Sales, we will help clients to liquidate their personal property for any number of reasons. Some clients are downsizing and moving into an independent or assisted living. Others are moving away from the area, and some families contact us to help us after the death of a parent or of a loved one. Whatever your reason for needing a sale today, we're here to help you guide you through the process of liquidating your personal property and to complete the process for you as simply from the beginning to the end, as headache-free as possible. We will help you to sell your personal property, and this might include things like your household furnishings, your housewares, your home decor, clothing, appliances, antiques, collectibles, firearms, coins, vehicles, equipment, or anything else that you may have in your home that can't make the move with you to your next location. When it comes to your estate sale, here are 3 topics of conversation that may help you a little bit throughout your move. Number 1, how do you choose your estate sale company? Number 2, how much money should I expect to make on my sale? And number 3, allow enough time in your overall moving process to complete your estate sale. So let's get right in with number 1. How do you choose an estate sale company? My strongest recommendation is to choose a company that makes you feel the most at ease. At Blue Stem Estate Sales, our goal is to comfortably and professionally guide you through this entire process while treating you as if you were our own parents. In fact, I recently completed an estate sale for my very own parents who downsized into assisted living. We handled 100% of my parents' move, the sale of all of their personal items, the sale of their vehicles, and the move into their assisted living community. They sat back and relaxed and just watched it happen. Our goal is to treat you in the same way that we would our own parents from beginning to end. My second recommendation is to choose a company who will handle everything. Your home cleanout, unloading the cabinets and closets, sorting, staging, researching the value of your items, pricing your items, photographing your items, advertising the sale, conducting the sale. Usually this will be live and in your home, but sometimes, like even today, we might do this by way of an online sale. Bluestem Estate Sales will even help you sell your vehicles if need be. After the conclusion of your sale, we will work with the charity of your choice to help make the appropriate donations. And finally, we will help you dispose of all of your leftovers, leaving the house ready to pass along to the realtor or to the new homeowner. We can even recommend a house cleaner to do the final cleaning. My last recommendation when choosing a company to work with is take a company who will help you to understand their sales fees. While every client is different and each sale has different needs, we will walk you through the simple commission and fees in advance, making sure that your questions are answered and that there are no hidden fees. We will provide you everything in writing, complete with the contract. Our company is licensed and insured to provide you with this peace of mind. You want to make sure that you choose a company with all of those characteristics. My second topic today is how much should I expect to make on a sale? This is a great question. People ask me this all of the time. Keep in mind, the average estate sale proceeds are smaller than larger. While every family situation is different, most of us are just regular folks with an average home full of possessions that represent years of our lives. Some items that we have may be of significant value, but much of what we have are just normal belongings that we have owned for years. The average estate sale generates a few $1,000s, with $10,000 being typical. Some make more, some make less. But this, of course, just helps you to understand the average. This number, of course, is before your sales fees or commissions. Remember that your home is usually your greatest asset. You will generate the largest payout through the sale of your home, the actual real estate. Your estate sale proceeds will just be the icing on the cake. Remember, all of us have items that we will not sell. And some of these things have little or no value. Remember that some of your possessions appreciate over the years, just like fine wine, but also remember that most of our possessions depreciate over time and are worth far less today than they were when we first paid for them. Don't let the anticipation of what will I make on my sale cause you too much concern. Finally, in my last topic today, be sure that you have and allow enough time for your sale to take place. Before Bluestem Estate Sales can begin preparing for your sale, it is required that you must have already moved out from your home. This includes all people and all pets. Your home may not be lived in during any part of the estate sale process. Keep in mind that Bluestem Estate Sales will need an average of 2 to 3 weeks to prepare, conduct, and wrap up your estate sale. The actual estate sale itself is typically only 2 to 3 days in length. Sometimes an online sale might last a little bit longer. Finally, after the sale ends, it usually takes a couple of more days to pack up the leftovers and donate them to your selected charity. Cleaning, of course, is the final stage that takes place. Remember, we will leave your home ready for you or the realtor or the new home buyer, whoever is coming in. Whatever your situation, whatever your needs, our estate sale company is here to help. Give us a call today or let us know how we can help you out. I appreciate the opportunity from Lakeview Village to talk with each of you today. And if you have questions, particularly about your estate sale or your needs that involve this process, click the button on the bottom of the screen or let us know at the end of the session.
Kevin, they've already asked questions about estate sales. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. So Jane is asking, what is the approximate range of cost that's charged by an estate company?
Yeah, that's a great question, Jane. Thank you. Typically, an estate sale charges a percentage. And in our case, it's typically 35%. That's kind of the industry average. Sometimes there are fees that cannot be determined until the estate sale provider looks at the house in person. Some of those are based on how much preparation and clean out is needed. And some of those fees are based upon what will be needed to do at the end of the time after the sale is over to have the house clean and ready to turn over to the real estate agent. But generally speaking, 35% commission is kind of an industry standard.
That's good to know. Thanks, Kevin. Another question for you, Kevin, from Karen is, of course, with COVID shelter in place limitations, are estate sales really viable right now? Are there places open where people can donate items or take items to be sold? Or what would you suggest during these unusual times?
Yeah, great question, Karen. We're all trying to figure out the answer to that, even as we speak. So none of us know that for sure. But I can tell you, even in these past 2 months, we have had the opportunity to continue to work with estate sale clients to help them in somewhat of a modified way continue the estate sale process. Most estate sales have not been able to operate publicly for the last 2 months, but that's beginning to change, even here in the Kansas City area, perhaps even as early as this coming weekend. And of course, we'll kind of navigate those waters as they come along. In the event that you can't have a sale in person, we can help by way of online sales, selling perhaps some of your key items online through various methods: Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, our estatesales.net, and web pages. And so there's several other ways during this time that you can help to do that, particularly if you only have certain items that need to be sold and some of the smaller things are able to be donated.
Excellent, excellent. That's very helpful. And continue to submit questions if you have them about estate sales, because Kevin, we will likely come back to you at the end. Obviously, a very popular topic, so we appreciate that. Okay, well, one of the biggest steps in the whole process, of course, is putting the house on the market. And we have just the duo to help us through the process of selling our home. These two ladies here are senior real estate consultants. They're with Reese Nichols Real Estate. So please welcome at this time Donna Bukovac and Penny Burrell. Ladies, take it away.
Thanks, Valissa and Lakeview Village, for giving Donna and I the opportunity to present today. Good morning, all. I'm Penny Burrell, a real estate consultant with Reese Nichols for approximately the last 14 years. Just a little bit about myself. I'm born and raised in Kansas City and have lived on both sides of the state line. My husband Tim and I have 3 sons, and I love working with Donna Bukovac and our clients in helping you make a move.
Hi, good morning. I'm Donna Bukovac, and I'm sure you can tell that I wasn't born in Kansas City, but I grew up in Mississippi and have been here in Kansas City the last 30 years, and I have been selling real estate for about 21 of those. I'm married, I have 2 daughters, and 3 precious grandkids. Penny and I have had the opportunity to help several others like you transition to a new way of life. We truly love our jobs and look forward to helping you in any way we can. We hope all of you have remained safe and healthy during these challenging times. We have certainly had to adjust our way of doing business by wearing face masks, gloves, booties, and carrying around hand sanitizer. Our clients' health and safety is and always will be our first priority. Based on your needs, we will work closely with you to determine the best and safest route to help you make this transition. Even through these challenging times, the real estate market has continued to be strong. For example, our office alone closed 79 deals for a total of $28.9 million in business during the month of April. So as you can see, home ownership is still a part of the American dream now more than ever.
A couple of huge factors are mortgage interest rates, which continue to be very low, and the low supply of homes in our area creates a seller's market. So if you are still wondering if this is a good time to sell, it definitely is. Home ownership has been increasing since 2016 and is the highest it has been in 8 years. And housing has a major impact on the recovery of the U.S. economy. Now let's switch gears and briefly discuss the basics of what is involved in the home selling process. We would like to touch on the key factors of selling your home, but of course, everyone's situation is always a little different. First on the list is finding a real estate agent, and hopefully that's going to be Donna and I, that you can trust and feel comfortable working with. Plan to spend the next 60 days, maybe more, working closely together. We will be giving you more information on how to select an agent a little bit later in this presentation.
Once you've chosen your agent, together we will establish a time frame that is best for you and what needs to be done to prepare your home for the market. This could include things like getting organized with Karen, whether or not an estate sale is going to be helpful, which Kevin can help with. Does your home need any updates or repairs? Scheduling movers, and whether or not you can move before your home is sold, and any other personal concerns that need to be considered. Now your home is ready for the market and to be seen by potential buyers with their agents, following, of course, the COVID-19 guidelines. This is to protect everyone's safety, and we can discuss those guidelines with you. Next, hopefully a potential buyer falls in love with your home and writes an offer to purchase it. We will then meet with you to go over all the aspects of the contract to determine how you would like to proceed.
Once a contract is agreed upon by you and the buyers and their agent will move forward with conducting inspections and an appraisal of your home. If no further negotiations are needed or required, we will work closely with the buyer's agent and you to keep the process moving towards closing. We will work also closely with the title company that you chose when listing your property. The title company will ensure that your property has a clear title and will prepare all of your closing documents for you to sign before the buyer's closing date. You will still retain ownership of your home until the buyers close and take possession. Now, you are ready to relax and enjoy your new life at Lakeview Village.
Since we only have time to touch briefly on the market stats and the selling process, we're sure you still may have many unanswered questions, which we will be happy to answer after the presentation or whenever it is convenient for you and however you choose. As you can see, your real estate agent plays a very important part of the whole process, and you will be working extremely close during this time before going on the market, during, and after. So it is very important that you feel comfortable with us helping you and knowing that we have your best interest at heart.
Here are a few questions you need to consider when interviewing an agent. You want to find out how long the agent has been in the business. While everyone has to start someplace, with all the coordination that is needed to make a move like this, it is best to have someone that is seasoned. Is your agent full-time? It is critical that you hire a full-time agent because real estate does not just happen in the evenings or weekends. You need someone that you can talk to at any time of the day or weekend. Will I be dealing with the same person from start to finish? That is critical. Because of all the coordination in selling your home and making this move, it's important that you deal with people that you're going to be with from start to finish. Do you have a marketing plan? And is there any additional costs that you might incur? Donna and I do have a marketing plan for your home, and there will be no additional costs to you besides those that are involved with closing. And the most important thing is pictures. And you want an agent that is going to use professional pictures. Buyers are out there looking at homes online well ahead of stepping foot in any home that they're considering purchasing. So you want to make sure your pictures are the best they can be, and there will be no additional costs for us to hire a professional photographer to come in and take photographs of your home. You also want to know if your agent will assist with staging and work closely in coordinating with an estate sale company if that is something that you're going to need. And we will definitely do both. We will make sure your home looks great for the pictures, and then we will work closely with an estate sale person like Kevin that you heard earlier today in coordinating the timing of all of that. Will you keep me informed on what is happening with my home? Absolutely, and this is key. We are happy to meet with you face to face, over the phone, email or text, or any combination of those different forms of communication. It's critical that you know what is going on from start to finish and feel comfortable with it. What if you were uncomfortable or unable to do paperwork on the computer? That is absolutely no problem. We are happy to meet with you face to face to go over all documents to the contract and sign in person. So don't worry if you don't feel comfortable using the computer. We'll make it easy for you. Are you willing to discuss or keep other family members in the loop? This is up to you, but we also know that some sellers want family members to be a part of this decision as well. And we are happy to keep anyone in the loop as long as that's something that you want. You are our client and you're the one that gives permission for this. But most importantly, you need a real estate agent that you can trust and that is always looking out for your best interest, because we want to make this process as stress-free as possible.
It has been a pleasure to present to you today. If you would like more information or a free assessment of your home, please feel free to contact us. We strive to treat all of our clients like family and to provide exceptional customer service to everyone involved. Thank you, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you, Donna and Penny. So much good information. And yes, that does and can feel overwhelming. I think all of this can for those of us when it's time for us to downsize and make a move. So that's been very, very helpful. All right, well, our final presenter was actually our second presenter. So we're going to go back to Colette right now. Colette, of course, is with Lakeview. And Colette, I know you're going to help us sort of get our head wrapped around all sorts of wonderful things going on at Lakeview Village.
Well, thank you very much, Felissa. Hello again, and I am glad that everyone listening today is staying safely in your homes during this quarantine, and I wanted to talk about kind of what happens after the quarantine as it relates to a possible move to a retirement community. And my colleagues here in the office, Amy, Deanna, Michelle, and Patricia, we are here to learn more about your needs and about what you're really looking for in a new lifestyle, if it's now or down the road. So we do have a nice selection of homes, just so you know, in various price ranges. So we look forward to seeing you. And the first thing I wanted to touch on is really how Lakeview Village has been keeping our residents safe during the lockdown period. And I think we have done a very good job in protecting our residents, the staff, and their families over this past 60 days. So we are still asking our residents to limit their exposure to each other, and family members are not visiting their relatives directly, but we are doing lots of things for the residents in the background. For example, on Mother's Day, we delivered prime rib to the families and a carnation to the women, so they know we are definitely still here for them. We are opening up some activities slowly, such as the garden, and other activities that they can take advantage of in very small groups. So that has been working well and helping people feel more like things are slowly getting back to normal. And for example, in addition, we have people, new residents who have been moving into our community during this time. For example, we have screeners at every door, and they are asking questions of the movers, the individuals, and we have had, very good luck doing it that way, so people can still move forward, with their lives at this time. And as I had mentioned, we are offering tours to our campus. We will make sure that you are screened and asked to wear a mask, as we will do, and take your temperature and all the things that you would expect. So I will tell you, this process has not been easy on people, but our residents almost daily send us notes of thanks and gratitude and satisfaction with how they have been very well taken care of, during this difficult time. So I think we also would like to talk a little bit about some of the villa sites that we have and how that could affect you. And let's see. So basically, we are building some Don Julian villas, as we have been for really the past 15 years or so. And we have some new ones that are coming up. We have just knocked some homes down to make room for them. So 7 new home sites. And I will tell you, folks, this is the last phase of villas that can be customized for a very long time, foreseeable future, really, in different styles. And they do range from about 1,600 square feet to 1,800 square feet plus on the main floor. And there is a lower level as well. So it's a wonderful opportunity. The pictures that you see on your screen, as well as the ones during Donna and Penny's presentation, those are villas on our campus. And our campus, by the way, if you haven't visited here before, we have been here since 1964, so that's a long time, 56 years. We have been serving seniors in this metro area, and we are a nonprofit organization. That's important to note because we are locally owned, operated, always have been, always will be, and that really gives our residents a lot more say in how things are done and access to our the folks that run our community. So we are happy about that and hope to continue that process. So if you're interested in a villa, we are definitely standing by to chat with you about that.
Fantastic.
And
go ahead, Colette.
Melissa, I wanted to mention too, before I sign off, all the presenters today were really selected for their track records in the community and in their fields, as well as with Lakeview clients. And so I just wanted to thank all of them and say how lucky Lakeview Village is to be associated with them to really make life even better for seniors here in our area. So thank you so much.
Yeah, they have been terrific and so fun to work with. And in fact, somebody asked earlier in the presentation if we would have like all of their contact information, the information that they shared today compiled. We've already thought of that. And so we're going to be sending you an email. You're going to be looking for that email tomorrow, and it will be chock full of resources and information from today's presentation. So I wanted to share that right away so that you know. If you have other questions, go ahead and submit those. And in the meantime, I'm going to Kevin, we have a couple more questions for you. Karen, I've got another one for you too, so stand by. So Kevin, Merle wants to know, will you handle the sale of artwork? Is that something your company does?
Yes, we can do that. And if it's artwork that needs to have specific, artists or appraisers contacted, we can help you with that process. Again, artwork, like many things, it may have value that appreciates in time over time, and it may be something that we need to work with in that direction. It may be something like some of us have mentioned before that was particularly valuable to us and emotional to us at the time that we purchased it, and perhaps at this day and time, it's not worth as much value on the outside market as perhaps what we paid for it, but we'll help you to determine that. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Then Jerry and Sally, they have a question. Is there a basic minimum estimate of the proceeds for an estate sale? Do you have kind of a ballpark that you can help people? I mean, I know everybody's homes are different, but can you help them kind of get their head wrapped around that, Kevin?
Well, I mentioned just a number there in my presentation to you that generally we say an average sale might bring in somewhere in the average target range of $10,000 gross before any fees are taken out of that. But of course, the answer to that really lies with every person's home. We've worked with people who have phenomenal large homes, multiple thousand square feet homes with all kinds of things in their homes and vehicles or pieces of equipment, things like that. And of course, the value obviously there will be greater. We've worked with also people that have just very simple and modest homes. And so it's going to be completely a different number according to what it is that you have at your home. I know sometimes people ask, is there a minimum to do an estate sale? And every company treats that differently. Our approach at Bluestem Estate Sales is that we try to not tell you there's a minimum dollar volume you have to have before we'll consider working with you. There is sometimes a minimum commission amount that we have to make to pay for the cost of labor to be there for 2 or 3 weeks. But we try to work with clients of every size of estate that they're needing to liquidate or to sell.
Fantastic. We hope that answered your question, Jerry and Sally. Karen, you're up. I have a question from Charles. He really would like sort of a basic overview of what an organizer will do for him. You know what, Charles, what we're going to do is we're going to send you Karen's presentation and information. But Karen, I don't know if you want to give a quick response to that.
Sure. So I think one of the things that we kind of pride ourselves in is that we will help you as much or as little as you would like. So I'll give you my two extremes and you can see what I mean. About a year and a half ago, I helped a lovely lady make the move to Lakeview Village. And she had a small home in Westwood that she had lived in for a lifetime. She did not have any help. She didn't have any family, close by to help her. So we helped her for several months with the editing process, the donation process, everything that I talked about in the presentation. I helped orchestrate the mover. I helped her with the unpacking. So we kind of helped her from beginning to end. That was like a full service situation. I helped another lady at Lakeview who had plenty of help, plenty of family, and all she wanted was for us to go in and set up her kitchen after the move. So we literally just went in for an afternoon and helped get that set up because that was something that was a little daunting for her and that she wanted done right away. So to answer your question, as much or as little help as you would like. We charge by the hour. And so there again, that can just work within the budget that you have. And I have additional organizers that can make that process go a little quicker if you like. So we will customize that to your needs. That answers your question.
Fantastic. Also, we had a question about the complimentary lunch. So even though we have more than 50 of you joining us today, everyone who joined our presentation today will receive a complimentary lunch from Lakeview Village. And we know you can't come in now during shelter in place order, so we have a couple of options that we're going to spell out for you in that email that you will receive tomorrow. So again, tomorrow, look for an email in your inbox. It's going to contain all of the resources that were mentioned today, how to get organized, how to set up your new home and plan for that, how to have an estate sale and selling your home. So all those resources will be sent to you through an email. So look for that from Lakeview Village tomorrow. And by the way, all the photos that you've seen today, those are real photos from Lakeview Village. And they're beautifully done. In fact, this is a real couple. This is not like, those fake photos that they put in the frames when you buy them at the store. These are real people who live there. This is Tom and Mary Phillips, and they moved into their new Julian villa less than a year ago. They came from I believe it was Cedar Creek subdivision in Olathe, and they are really active in lots of clubs and activities at Lakeview Village. And in their villa, I'm sure they do a lot of entertaining. So it's been really fun to see these photos that Colette has put within the presentation, because this is all real life going on. You see that lake or pond there behind them. It's beautiful. If you've not been on this property, where most of the or many of the apartments have a balcony that overlooks this beautiful lake, and people go fishing there, they walk around the lake. It's just absolutely beautiful. And no, I don't live there, but can you tell I kind of wish I did? It sounds it looks beautiful when I've been out there. We really appreciate your time today. We appreciate you being with us, and we hope that there were some helpful tips and information that you found beneficial from our presenters. And yes, there will be future virtual events. So please, oh please, look for those from Lakeview Village. And in the meantime, once again, you're going to receive an email tomorrow. When you do, there'll be contact information in there. You've got it also right there on your screen in front of you. Feel free to give us a call or send Lakeview Village an email, and just share any other questions or comments that you might have about today's presentation. So again, we appreciate all of you. And that's the end of our presentation. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.